Get this stuff out of the way. My puzzle is so hard. Here we go. Straight into it. This is my second time recording this because my computer crashed, so I'm going to go faster. See how that goes. See if I can get it over before it crashes again. Fear! Fear is the mind killer. Young, what is Muad'Dib? Or is Muad'Dib, that's not his name when he, whatever. Doesn't matter. Fear's important, and these three teams have reasons to be afraid. I ranked them. I was going to do it like, oh, surprise, I'm not going to tell you beforehand, but if I could. Here we go. Cleveland, I think, should be actually the most afraid. A toe injury is a big deal. I think they're going to strap the shit out of it. They're going to, like, wrap it up and wrap it up and wrap it up. Give them, like, steel-toed boots. Type of thing. Okay? And then, like, steel-toed socks. And painkiller the shit out of it. Because playing basketball on a broken toe is fucked. Last year he played basketball with a fucked up jaw. And that made a big impact. I think if Darius Garland is not at like 85%, that greatly decreases their odds of winning. Okay, Darius Garland he's very necessary. He's a very necessary player, I think. I love Donovan, I love everybody else, but without Darius, I don't think it's gonna be like a 7-game series without Darius. They're about even with the Pacers to me without Darius. I don't even think he's like the best player on their team, but he's very well balanced, I guess. Anyway, second reason, I mean, obviously the first main reason is that you lost game 1. I'm not here to tell you something you already know. Here's my other reason. This one you already know, and I did say it. I did bring it up first. But this one, okay, when I think of Tyrese Halliburton, there's one play in particular. I think it was last year versus the Knicks in the playoffs. At the end of the game, he's been jawing. He's in Madison Square Garden, or whatever the fuck. The Knicks, he's playing at the Knicks. And he's been jawing with some fan the whole time on the sideline. And late in the game, he pulls back. He does like a little fake out move on one of the Knicks. And pulls up for a 3. And he shoots it, and he looks away. He looks away from the shot. Okay, and he doesn't like turn around from the shot and like start jogging down the other way like a Steph Curry might do sometime. He looked at the fan. I think either it was before, either it was after he shot the 3, or it was like actually like as he was making a move, he looked. I think, you know what? I think he looked at the fan and then took the 3. I wish I could find that play and that camera angle. He looked right over there and then took the 3. And so that to me demonstrates a personality trait of Tyrese Halliburton. Is he still mad about being the most underrated player in the league? Or no, most overrated. Sorry, I fucked that one up. Is he still mad about being the most overrated player in the league? I think he did take that personal. The other players said it. That wasn't Reddit saying that. Reddit will tell you anybody is the most underrated player. They'll tell you Anthony Edwards is the most underrated player. I know I might have talked about this last time, but one of my basketball YouTubers said he would rather have Luka Doncic than Anthony Edwards. I was like, what the fuck? Okay, that's the kind of take that you just don't have to care about. But when you're Tyrese Halliburton, and the other players and coaches say that, that's why we all went to that survey anyway. Is he still mad about that? I think he plays better with a chip on his shoulder. I think he's like that. He's that kind of guy. We'll see how it goes. Cleveland could come back. Of course. Cleveland's still the favorite to win it. Darius Garland is coming back from injury, and if it was like a minor toe thing and they were really just sitting him because they knew that they would like win without him, I mean, definitely sit him all of the Miami series. However much of the Miami series you need to miss, I don't care how capable of playing he is. You're not playing anymore. We don't need you versus Miami. Sorry, Eric Spoelstra, the GOAT. Eric Spoelstra is, I think, the best coach in the league. One of the top 3 coaches in the league. For sure. Definitively one of the top 3, in my opinion. But he's gone. We don't need Darius Garland versus Miami. We need them versus Indiana, bro. Next one. This one was... They definitely both have... this one is the worst because you can't do anything about a Darius Garland injury. Like, you can play him. You can give him steel-toed socks and shoot him up full of painkillers and have him go out there, but he's still going to be injured. That still, matters. We'll see what happens. I think it being an injury concern is why they're the most scared. This Boston has a little bit more... they do have KP being injured, and that's there. But, I don't know. I feel like they could win it without KP. I feel like if they cut KP... Right, okay, I'm about to give you a hot take. I didn't think of this hot take beforehand. But I think if they cut KP right now, they cut Kristaps Porzingis, I think, to me, it actually increases the odds of them winning the championship again. I think right now, I said it before the playoffs started, what I said was, if the Celtics don't win the championship this year, my prediction before the playoffs was that Kristaps Porzingis would probably be somehow, in some complicated or weird way, Porzingis would actually be the number one reason why they didn't win the championship. It wouldn't be Mazzulla fucking it up. It wouldn't be Tatum playing like shit for a whole 7 games. It wouldn't be Jaylen Brown playing like shit for 7 games. It wouldn't be Derek White not being the shark, the fucking Jaws. He is, of all the players in the NBA, that's the guy when he gets the ball, I hear the Jaws done. 100% when that guy fucking... When you're watching a play and stuff's going crazy and then suddenly it's been passed out to an open Celtic and you notice the Celtic is bald with a beard and you're like, oh fuck. It's Derek White. Done, and he's going to hit it. That guy is good. I want that guy on my team really bad. I think they can win without KP. But if KP is at all on the team, he's going to be doing a bunch of shit. I feel like this is the season. I'm making my prediction now that Kristaps Porzingis is going to he's going to show more of what made him a problem in Dallas. Is how I'll say it. If you remember, you remember, but he had to go. And you know what? He wasn't that great for them last year in the playoffs. He came out and he spanked the Mavs in the first quarter, and we lost. Luka Doncic quit after 1 quarter. It was over before, everybody says this. Everybody has this excuse. I brought this up last time. And I'm bringing this up now because it involves Boston. And involves their relationship with KP. Doncic went into Game 1 of the finals being like, we're such massive underdogs. And then Game 1 starts, and Kristaps Porzingis gets this standing ovation to come in, and he shits all over you. He won the series. The series was over after that quarter, and we all knew it. Now, the rest of the Mavs, they played hard. Which is something they did, by the way, once Luka was gone. I know I'm bringing up Luka for no fucking reason right now. Well, maybe for a slight reason, but a little bit of an excuse. But he's Hot Topic, bro. That gets me the clicks. I need the fucking clicks, bro. I gotta fucking have them. I gotta feed my kids. I feeds my kids with those clicks. Okay? One thing that the Mavericks had post-Doncic trade that you cannot argue with is fight. It's effort. It is never give up. Never say die. Never go down. We're still in this. We are not going down. It got people injured, that attitude. I feel like that's... This is kind of a crazy take, but I remember watching Kyrie jump on that layup he went for when he tore his ACL. I remember seeing him leap into the air and pull his feet way up, and he's flying through the air, and I said, fuck. My brain was instantly like, oh shit. That's not... He's trying to show the world how that we got it. He's trying to restore hope to the universe. That's what I saw when he jumped, and guess what? The universe laughed. Okay? Doncic, he's not taking that jump. And I'm bringing it, it's a bad thing. He tried to be a hero. But Doncic is a quitter. I think that's the real reason, or one of the reasons. Anyway, let's get off Doncic. I'm getting out of my mind. I'm going out of my brain. And I'm going to bring him up again because I'm going to bring up Jalen. What was I saying? Oh, KP. I started with B. KP, he's just going to be there, not there. He's going to be weird. He's going to be playing weird when he is there. He's going to be like, well, I haven't played in 3 days. Oh, I missed the last game. Oh, I'm going to miss practice, but then play the game. Oh, I'm going to play just the first half. It's just going to be this like complicated mental stack addition that I don't think Boston can deal with right now. Boston is not going to shoot that well. Okay, I don't think they are going to shoot as well as they shot last year in the playoffs. And they didn't shoot amazing in the playoffs last year. They shot good. No, don't get me wrong, they shot well. But I think they're going to shoot worse this year. I feel like that's obvious. A lot of their players are shooting worse from three this year than they were last year. In the regular season, I know there was one of them who was like a big difference. It doesn't matter. Let's talk about the GOAT. As I was writing down his name, I'm going to zoom in here. I hope this isn't loud on the mic. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Oh, okay, here we go. Jalen Brunson. I'm going to bring it up again, okay? In 2022, the Mavs were playing the Phoenix Suns. It was like game 5 or 6 or something, or 4. It wasn't game 7. And I made the call. I officially spoke it out loud to myself. Nobody else was in the room. But instead of just thinking it, I was like, no, I'm going to say it out loud to make it official. I made the call. I said, who would I rather build my team around? If I was going to start a team, who would I rather build my team around? Luka Doncic or Jalen Brunson? I asked myself this question in 2022, before we even had Game 7 of that series, which was a very fucking insane game that I love, of course. I'll still go back and watch highlights of that game. Fuck the Suns. That was glorious. But I asked myself before then, who would I rather have? And I said Brunson. I was like, you know what, Brunson. Brunson was my favorite player. When he went to the Knicks, I was like, I think the Knicks are like the team I'm going to root for right now. I was quicker to come back, not come back, because I never left, but to still watch Mavs games than I was with Luka leaving than I was with Brunson leaving. And they let Brunson leave for like not that much. And you know what else Brunson's done since then? He's taken a pay cut to help the fucking team, because that's the kind of guy he is. You know how rare that is? You know how rare that is? Especially for a guy, usually if that happens, it's like Tom Brady, and he's taking a pay cut from the Bucks or some shit, or who knows, some team, and he's like, I'm already a fucking bajillionaire. I won't make you pay me the super max contract. We'll put it in the press that I'm taking a pay cut, even though we're just like, actually, you're not worth as much because you're old as fuck. But we'll put it in the press that I'm taking. No, Brunson in before, like, dude. How old is he right now? I mean, seriously, how old is Brunson? Like 26? How old is Jalen Brunson? This guy is the GOAT. He took over. And you know what? They were just like, the Knicks were just like, hey, 10 plays in a row. We're just going to have like 10 offensive possessions in a row where it's Jalen Brunson showing everybody, like, Jalen Brunson versus the world. And he's going to cook. Obviously, you can't do that for the whole game, but after 10 possessions in a row, we're going to be like, okay, now we're going to start bringing in Karl-Anthony Towns and these other players and Mikal Bridges. Like, this is going to open shit up. We're not just going to, like, rely on them being afraid of Brunson from the beginning. We're going to make them say, yeah, we're afraid of Brunson. And then the other guys are going to benefit from that. He's clearly been the best player on the court, which is a big deal. Okay? He's clearly the best player on the court. He gets the ball in his hand. He's cooking people. He's moving back and forth. He's cutting. He's making little moves. He's fucking present and in the moment. And then I think, who else did the Mavs have? Who was it? Luka Doncic? And I'm like, how did Luka Doncic look in the playoffs this year? He looked dead. He looked like he's gonna... His knee will not stop bleeding. I cannot understand. Every game I watch with Doncic, he wears those long white stockings and there's always a big blood spot on his knee. I'm like, what is happening? How can it always be bleeding? It's insane. That guy can't wear a pair of those leggings twice, bro, because they're covered in blood. When he's like, why is his knee bleeding like that? He couldn't blow by anybody. And then Jalen, like, Nico Harrison's biggest mistake. I said this last video. I'm going to say it again. I'm going to say it till the day I die. Nico Harrison's big mistake that was like, it's unacceptable. It's unacceptable. Oh my gosh. That's absolutely ridiculous. It's the most horrible thing that's ever happened. I'm on Twitter a lot, so I used a lot of absolutist verbiage, vocabulary. It's absolutely unbelievable. There's no way. There's no way at all. Absolutely no way. The dumbest move he made was letting Brunson go. But he knew he was going to trade for Kyrie. He knew he was going to trade for Kyrie because Kyrie's his guy. And so he was like, I don't need Luka, Jalen, and Kyrie. Imagine if we had Jalen Brunson and Kyrie instead of Luka Doncic and Kyrie. Imagine that shit, bro. That shit's good. But they're still not as afraid as Cleveland, to me. To me, just because Cleveland has, it's like an injury thing. And Boston's not going to miss 47 three-pointers next time. I mean, I did say that they're not going to shoot as well from three, but I think they'll play better. Joe Mazzulla is way better. Oh, let's add a reasons. No, I'm not going to add reasons to be cheerful. But reasons to be cheerful for Boston is that you have the better coach, in my opinion. I don't really like Tom Thibodeau. I picked the Knicks to lose in round one because I was like expecting Thibodeau to fuck it up. Or I was expecting some of the Knicks to be too injured like they were last year. Because he plays them at 40 minutes a game in the regular season. But whatever. Boston's second most cursed. It's only been 20 minutes. Let's move on. Let's get this other stuff out of the way. Oklahoma Now again, once again, they're maybe the least afraid. If I'm an Oklahoma City fan, I'm a little bit more worried for the other teams. This game 2 will be huge for fucking all of them. Game 2 is going to be ginormo for all of them. Super huge. This is very interesting what has happened. This is a narrative. It's so cinema, bro. It's so cinema. All three of the favorites lost, and how are they all three of them going to respond? Is it still going to be two of them in the finals? Oh my gosh. Okay, let me get something out of the way. I said cinema right there. This is just a little tangent I have to go on for my own personal psyche. I'm usually very chill about like nomenclature changes. Like I'll say Skibbity Ohio Sigma toilet all day. That's fun. Those are fun words. Skibbity Ohio. Come on. That's so Sigma. That's fun to say. Those are fun words to say, and they're fine. I know cinema, but calling things cinema is fucking the one that pisses me off the most. Of all the things, it's like actually the thing that pisses me off the most at all in words. It's like, dude, what are you talking about? ESPN will be like, dang, the end of game 2 was so cinema. Like, are you out of your fucking mind, bro? Cinema wishes. Cinema fucking wishes. And I'll tell you right now, I'm a huge cinema fan. I'm getting way off topic, but I don't give a shit. You're 20 minutes into a video of a piece of paper, bro. I don't give a fuck. Calling things cinema. I gotta make this a whole video. I'm out. You get the gist. Oklahoma City. First reason why they should be least afraid is because they have a simple explanation / excuse. Okay, when you lose and you're just like confused the whole time and you're just like, what happened? The answers are not clear. A lot of crazy shit happened all over the place, and it wasn't that, like, this game was very simple to understand, in my opinion. Okay? In the second half, the Denver Nuggets, coached by Nikola Jokic, Coach of the Year, come out and they play professional championship basketball. When they allow a bucket, when some guy hits a big three because they left him open, they don't get down. They don't hit their legs. I remember from the last series, Şengün, every single time something was bad for his team, he was like moping. He was not moping because it wasn't that negative of a energy, but it was just like little throw, body language I didn't think was professional championship winning body language. Okay. To quote the great Rafael Nadal, any negative body language is stupid to do. I just don't do the stupid. I'm nervous. I'm tense. I'm upset, but I'm not doing the stupid the negative body language. All the things I can't control in this, my opponent, the wind, whatever, the crowd. One thing I can control always, no matter how injured I am, no matter what, is my body language. And the Şengün looked like a kid. When he fucked up, or when somebody else hit a three, or there was a foul call, he was hitting his legs a bunch, throwing his arms around. The Nuggets didn't do that shit. I'll tell you that shit right now. The Nuggets did not do that. The Nuggets played serious basketball. They looked like it was like the Patriots versus the Falcons. Now, obviously, it wasn't that big, but it was like they were like, no, if we play serious professional basketball right now, we have a chance to win this at the end. And they kept it within 10, 11-point lead, 8-point lead, 9-point lead, 12-point lead, 10-point lead, 11-point lead. And the whole time I'm being like, dang, the Thunder are the GOATs. The Thunder are really fucking good. I don't see how anybody's beating the Thunder. And then I keep looking at the scoreboard and thinking, they're only down 10. The whole time they were only down 10. Now sometimes, this was something the Nuggets were famous for, with me at least. I call it the Nuggies. Is when you go up by like 15 and then you stay up by about 9 to 15 points the whole game. I feel like that's how the Nuggets would win games in 2020, whatever, 2023. Right? Yeah, 2023. The Nuggets won in 2023. That they were doing that to everybody. They would just go up by like 9 to 15 points and they would stay that way the whole game, and the game would end. And they'd be up 9 to 15 points. I kept looking at the lead this whole second half, and I was like, oh, that's only like 9 or 11. Like, they haven't gotten up to a 15-point lead. And the Nuggets just come right back down the court. And they played good basketball. It was crazy. The Nuggets impressed me more in that one half than they did in the entire series against the Clippers. Okay? It was crazy. Right, that's why they should be scared. Because the Nuggets have Coach of the Year, and everybody on the Nuggets looks like they're playing well. And, of course, as everybody talks about, Jalen Williams and Chet Holmgren didn't play that well. But all that stuff, you can chalk it up to two very easy to understand excuses. And when your excuses are easy to understand, that does kind of help you recover from them. Right? And whenever you watch football, when I watched football, there was this like talk about how the quarterbacks need to have a kind of amnesia. When you throw an interception, you don't want to sit there and be like, oh, I'm going to take it easy on this next possession and really make sure that my passes are right, and I'm going to really focus on not making that mistake again. And it's like, no, actually what you want to do is be like, what interception? Kind of. I mean, obviously, if you got beat by a certain move, the cornerback did, you make adjustments, you do a counter move, you try to do a look off maybe or something, but you're still going to go for it. When you make a mistake or some team scores a 3, you need to be like, okay, we're not going to get dejected. We're not going to pull an Alperen Şengün and throw our arms around and hit ourselves in the legs. We're just going to get back down the court and go to work again. Because Jokic is the Coach of the Year. The two simple explanations are I keep getting pulled into this Jokic. I'm rambling like crazy in this one. But you're 20 minutes into this now. 30? 30, hell yeah. The simple explanation is they fucked up fouling up 3. They didn't take any time off the clock. They fouled the Nuggets immediately. And then, like, it was weird. They were making a lot of mistakes. Here's another one. Another mistake they had. I think the other reason that this game felt like the Patriots versus the Falcons is because the Falcons in that Super Bowl played a weird game in the second half. They, like, hesitated about how to play, and so, I don't know, there's something... They, like, didn't try to take time off the clock. They still went pass heavy and just tried to lay it on thick. Because that's our identity, and we've never backed off. Anyway. The Thunder changed how they played. The Thunder played slower. They played more boring. They played like they were up by 20. Now, they played well. I think that both teams played really well in this game. I know Jalen Williams and Chet Holmgren are getting a lot of hate right now, but I think both teams played well. It's the playoffs, and they have that other excuse that they are cold. They had a week off, like a week and a half off, and the Nuggets played 2 days ago. And Jokic, let's look at that level of conditioning. I look at Jokic now, and I think I just see Doncic. The image of Doncic appears in the back of my head, and I'm like, Doncic doesn't do any of that shit. Jokic was there. He was in charge. He was calm. He was paying attention. He was in the present moment for 100% of that game. And that's why he should win Coach of the Year. All right, last one. I'm hoping that this series remains an outlier series. I hope that the Wolves win game 1. I hope that the Wolves win game 1. Not because I'm going to be rooting for the Wolves anyway. Because I was rooting for them against the Lakers. So I'm going to root for them anyway. And I like Anthony Edwards, and I would love it if Anthony Edwards added a couple more... I don't know how you want to word it, but added a couple more GOATs to his list of victims in Jimmy Butler, Draymond Green, and Steph Curry. He took out KD, he took out Jokic, he took out LeBron, he took out Luka. And that's all in 5 playoff series total. Now has a chance to take out Steph Curry, Steve Kerr, Jimmy Butler, Draymond. Dude, it's going to be a good series. They play today. I'm very excited about it. I hope that the Wolves win game 1 so that we can have them feel like 2 separate things. I kind of want this to be my main course and this to be something else. I want this stuff up here to be my main course. I want this to be like the primary storyline, and this is a little storyline happening in the back of the episode that we don't see as much. It's only a quarter of the time is spent on this. And this is so different. These are all the top seeds. Okay, 1 versus 4. 2 versus 3. 1 versus 4. Right? Yes, right? Yes. This is 6th versus 7th. It's very different than here. All the big teams are in here. And then you have the Wolves and the Warriors. I think if somebody was to look at all these teams, I wouldn't be surprised if somebody said that the Wolves and the Warriors were the 2 worst teams left. The Nuggets have proven to us in these playoffs that we should take them seriously. The coaching change has not really been that big of an issue. Jokic can do it. He'll coach. Jamal's been playing good. Wes has been playing good. Russell Westbrook, The Knicks are playing really good. Brunson is going ham. They're playing serious basketball. Cleveland is playing really well. Obviously, they destroyed the shit out of Miami, but they need Darius Garland to come back, and he is coming back tomorrow. Or is that today? Is he coming back today? Is that the first game? I'm watching the shit out of that. It's going to be very important to see how Darius Garland plays. I know I already said that. 6 o'clock today. 6 o'clock my time. But I want this to be like my little dessert series. My little side series where I'm like, ooh, okay. We're not dealing with like huge expectations here. Like Cleveland, Boston, and Oklahoma City, the entire season, they've been the big 3. With a clear, distinct gap between them and everybody else. And now here they are all matching each other. All in need of a huge statement game 2. Who's going to make it? Is Cleveland going to win by 20? Is Boston going to win by 20? Is Oklahoma going to win by 20? When I look through these, I think Oklahoma has the best chance of winning by 20. I think they come back next time. They are well coached. I know Dagnall fucked up, but he's self-aware at least. They are well coached. They are going to play better. I think that Chet Holmgren got rocked, psychologically rocked, by that Aaron Gordon dunk on him. That man was on a loop. He was stuck on repeat. The record player was skipping and repeating. He could only say, how's that a foul? How is that a foul? He said it like 80 times after that play. The entire time, him falling to the floor, sitting up on the floor, sitting there confused, standing up, walking around, talking to the ref. walking back to the bench, walking to the seats, sitting down, recovering physically. He's still repeating that same phrase. How is that a foul? He got stuck on a loop. He got so shook by that Aaron Gordon dunk. He's seeing Aaron Gordon in his nightmares right now. And that is not a good sign for Oklahoma. I don't know, dude. Oh, and it started. If the Warriors started first, game 1 is tonight. These ones have all played game 1. That's what, like, if it started first, it would be like an appetizer. I don't know, dude. This happens. There's a phrase for this in sumo, which I watch, where it's like, it's a cursed doyo. There's magic in the doyo. The doyo is the ring that they fight in, that they sumo in. And sometimes on one day, all 3 of the top guys might lose all in a row, and it's just like there's some sort of magic in the air today. Now, in basketball, we see this as hype as fuck. We're like, this is the GOAT. This playoffs is going to be hype. Are you telling me all 3 of the big 3 lost game 1? This is going to be a good playoffs. And this series is going to be goated too. This is going to be a GOAT playoffs. Now, when it happens in sumo, when there's magic on the doyo in sumo, the Japanese Sumo Association has to come out and apologize for how embarrassed they are. For whatever fucking reason. But that's sumo's problem, not mine. Anyway, that is a recap. That's the news. That's the setups. Let's go Wolves. Let's go. Actually, I don't care who wins. I actually found myself rooting for the Nuggets. I really liked how the Nuggets were playing. Oklahoma was playing well, but I don't really like Oklahoma. You know what? Okay, this is just me ranting. If you're done, that's fine if you want to be done right now, but if you want to hear me rant about how much one of my least favorite things about Oklahoma, I think that Oklahoma is my least favorite franchise when it comes to their, how do I say this? Their PA, the way they use the speakers in the stadium. What comes out of the speakers in the stadium? Oklahoma City is my least favorite. They were playing music on almost every possession, offense and defense. There are some teams where when the teams are playing at some stadiums where they don't usually play music on offense or defense. And when they do, it might be on defense and it's a simple beat. Or it's a simple, it's like something we know, when we maybe recognize, a song we recognize, but it's simplified a little bit. Or they play like dun dun dun, or they play defense, and they pipe in fake crowd noise to get the crowd going. But the Thunder, they were playing music every single possession. They were yelling stuff. The music was fucking weird. There was one that they kept playing that went like doom, 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 doom. And every time I felt like my stomach was getting queasy. It was odd. They were playing a lot of weird shit. I don't like how the guy over the PA, the guy who's actually speaks over the PA, and he's announcing the players and stuff, and then he's also saying stuff like let's get loud and stuff like that. They have my least favorite one, which is crazy to say, but it's true. He's kind of a douche. When they're cheering, he goes, louder! Not loud enough! Louder! He says that. Other ones are like, get loud, and then they sort of just, they don't ridicule the fans. Not that I care about the Oklahoma City fans, but I mean, that's what they're into, I guess. Louder! That's not loud enough! I don't like that. And none of the other stadiums do it. That is my own personal little gripe against Oklahoma, is their sound usage is my least favorite. So you know what? Actually, let's go Nuggets. Let's go Nuggets. Yes. I want to see Nuggets versus Wolves in the conference finals. Wouldn't that be glorious? Wouldn't that be the goated of all goateds? Nuggets versus Wolves? Wouldn't that be the goat? Boston, I'm rooting for the Knicks, 100%. 100%. Fuck Boston. They just won. Fuck Kristaps Porzingis. He's a loser. Let's go Jalen Brunson. Jalen the knife. He cuts you like a knife, and he's quick like a knife, motherfucker. That's going to be my nickname for Jalen Brunson. I don't need anybody else to call him that, but he's the fucking knife. And he's good. And he was my favorite player. He's been my favorite player for the last, couple years. When I first started watching in the bubble season, it was like Damian Lillard I really liked. I don't know. Damian Lillard was my favorite for I think in 2019 or I don't know. But then it was Brunson, and Brunson's been my favorite. So let's go Knicks. And for Cleveland Pacers, I don't really give a shit. I actually don't give a shit between Cleveland and Indiana. That's the one series I really don't care about. Anyway, see ya.